Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good afternoon. All right. So we have completed the first 6 lectures. Okay. So we have come out with chapter 2, how we solve unethical issues. So therefore, for today we need to continue. So we continue to chapter 3, the rights and responsibilities, especially for professional engineer. Okay. First and foremost, this chapter is so crucial for students, especially you as a future engineers, because as what Spider-Man says, great knowledge or great power come with great responsibility. All right. Okay. For this lecture, what are the key main features that we have to know? First and foremost, is related to professional responsibilities. What are your responsibilities as an engineer, especially when you practice engineering? Okay. Next, we will learn about whistleblowing and how to be, okay, because there are some dilemmas or ethical dilemmas that engineers face when want to do whistleblowing. Okay, and you must familiar with the Whistleblowing Protection Act 2010 by Swajaya Pertukaran Suah Malaysia. So this is the mechanism to protect the whistleblowers, or you as an engineer, you want to be a whistleblowers. Okay, maybe we can. There are a few studies related to this. Just as a case happened for Boeing 737's Mac, where multiple incidents where this flight are halted. Okay, so these breakdowns involve engineers that they were pressured to stay silent, even though they know there was something happen. This is same what happened in Fort Pinto Highland Tower, right? And to start it is about what is a professional responsibility. First, the term itself, we need to know the meaning of each terms, and the definitions of professions is an occupations that required a special education. So you as an engineer, your profession to be engineer, you studied engineering techs. So it's a specialized knowledge that related to the public trust, because normally, okay, I have some experience work in industry. When you wear a TNB jacket, they expect you to know everything, even though it's not related to you. Example, we have blackout, so they will ask, hey, wow, why is blackout this area, even though that area is not on your area of your taken area, so your covered area, but they always ask. Therefore, we have a knowledge, we have a public trust, they will always ask you about something. Next, the profession is professional responsibility. What is responsibility? If we say responsibility, we will relate it to our responsibility to our parents, maybe to our friends, family, relatives. Okay, so responsibility is related to the social force that binds your obligations. So your actions are guided by these obligations, demand by force. Okay, so it related to ethical. So it's not always being technical, ethical also being related. Operations is more on the technical side, responsibility on the ethical side. Okay, so you as an engineer, of course, you are bound to the codes of ethics. So like we have a BM code of ethics, maybe you have IEEE IEN, because as a professional, it's not being capable only, but you have also accountable to your actions. Okay, what is professional responsibility? Okay, it refers to the legal and moral duty of professional that related to his knowledge that benefits his or her client or wider society. Because in the first place, when you say personal morality, we want we does not want to harm others, so without causing any injury or either. Okay, right? Why? Okay, why and when we should be professionally responsible? Okay, so you as a worker, okay, yes, you as a worker, you're trying to show yourself, okay, so you've been manufacturing an unsafe products, or you waste, you put your waste, okay, or operating equipment dangerous to the public. So there are some conflicted happens. Is it profits over safety? Is it efficiency over sustainability environment, or loyal to your employer, or you want to save the public interest? That is the most important things. Okay, right? What we want to do? We have some crisis, which is in USA. We have clean water crisis. So what happened in USA? Those engineers failed to speak up when the water safety was compromised. So there big pollution happens during the clean water crisis. Okay. Next, we have Volkswagen emission scandals, where the engineers tweak the software. Why they tweak the software? Because they want to cheat the emission test, meaning they doesn't want to fail the emission test. Therefore, they tweak a bit, they cheat, they lie about the test. Okay, so these are the rules. Okay, the rules for engineers. Okay, because these rules are being aligned by boards of engineers Malaysia. Okay, that require we as an engineers to uphold. The first is responsibility to the public. Okay, competency for assignment. Okay, conflict of interest, improper conduct, and uphold integrity. So these five measures that we need to know. Just we have to know, because as an engineer, these rules are not purely theoretical, but it can affect you. As an example, your license, your profession engineer will be invoked, will be revoked or suspended. So it is something that affect. Of course, everything that you do in your life, there will be effect in your daily life because of your actions. Okay. Next, go to the basis of professionals' responsibility. So you have to like um, ensuring integrity. Always tell the truth, even though the truth will hurts you, maybe hurts your company, because the truth must be known by the stakeholders. Okay, especially somebody who use that design or that technology. Okay, okay, you have to like even though bribe, okay, fraudulent reporting, cover up is something that happens in a professional. Okay, and to avoid this from happen, you always documented your work ethically and never sign something that are questionable. It's most important things. So, all right. Next is the second one is contributing to the knowledge base. Okay. So in engineering, every day new knowledge being shared, new experience, new findings. So this finding will help in your work. Okay. You have to read journals. You have to go attend forums. You have to present a technical workshop. This is for your own, we call it professional growth. So normally, if you are a professional engineer, you have to get a certain CPDs in order to renew your IR, okay, or your MBOT cert, TS, so on and so forth. Right. The third one is applying knowledge, plus professional knowledge. Okay, you must know, if you're an electrical guy, you never apply for chemical positions or mechanical positions. Don't take jobs are you are unqualified. That is the most important thing. Okay? Because the purpose of the engineers is to protect human life and environment health. Okay? I give one example. If you are an electrical engineer, you cannot approve a structural or maybe constructions related document. It's not in your domain of responsibility, right? Next is balancing stakeholders' interests. When you say stakeholder, it's not only your company, but stakeholder is your customer. Customer is the user, the end user, the consumer, right? Because the most important thing when you balancing the stakeholder, meaning that you have to protect the public safety, okay, in terms of environmental sustainability, integrity. So these things that you done today, that you create today, that you develop today, will be give, will be getting by our future generations, our cucu, our anak, our daughter. Alright. So example, if your clients ask for maybe cut corners, meaning shortcut, you must evaluate first the risk itself. If you found out there is some issue related to it, you must stop, because safety is something that not will compromise, it will affect others. All right. Okay, I'm sharing to you too. So you as an engineer, you must be honest in all your tasks, because we want to protect the profession reputations. There are some, we call it code of conducts. So this code of conduct, this law, avoid engineers to tarnish these reputations of profession. So you need to always put on your the next contributing knowledge, as I mentioned before. You have to keep learning, because there are new methods, there are new laws, there are new, because if you say something is ethical in Malaysia, it will not be same in Australia, maybe in USA, in Arab, in UAE, Saudi. So we have to update your knowledge and know the best practices in engineering. And for those, the knowledge base is related to the professional knowledge itself, because you want to ensure that you protect the public safety. Okay, stakeholders and interest, of course, you want to protect the clients, you want to protect the public. And when we have something differences, okay, you have debated among engineers, so you must not act based on the emotional, but act professionally. So normally when you act professionally, follow to the laws and standards, you can avoid unethical discriminatory behavior. Okay, right? Because we can never allow biasing, especially to the technical decisions. Because even though the technical, sometimes we have related to gender, maybe races, okay, cultural. So in engineering, we have protect the professional responsibility. All right. So go to the next slides. So related to the whistleblowing, this is the most important things, because this will happen, okay, to you in the future. Okay. Okay. First, we need to know what is whistleblowing. Okay. Maybe some information close. I will share this note later. And by the end of this lecture, we have a question that you need to answer. Okay. So what is whistleblowing? Whistleblowing is we call it reporting system. Okay, that release of information by organization members or employee evidence of illegal or immoral conduct. Okay, and normally can be done by the members of organizations as a crime to the reporter. Okay, but you must know, you must noted that whistleblowers are not snitches. Okay, they are not snitches, they are not maybe in terms Malay sikitol. No, they are defenders of integrity. They want to protect others, not themselves. Okay, so there are multiple types of whistleblowing. The first, we have internal whistleblowing, external, and personal. What's the difference between these three whistleblowing type? Internal, when you say internal, meaning you are members of that organization, so you do a whistleblowing inside. External, meaning that you are an individual that who doesn't directly work in that company, but you are related. Okay, so meaning maybe you are a customer, but if somebody asks for bribes to approve something about documentations, personal whistleblowing is blowing the whistle of the offender. Okay, meaning that you are whistleblowing on personal basis. It's not the whole company, it's not the whole organizations, but the systems or the persons that in charge of something. Okay, normally when we say internal, we do our reporting to the HR or the ethic committee. Okay, so so this is normally done internally without go to the SPRM, so on and so forth. Okay, when you say external, and then you're lodging an official report to the SPRM or to the media. Okay, and professionals is reporting an individual frauds. See what happens before somebody stole 1 cent from our account. So even though it's related to bank, but it's a someone fault. It's not the whole organization itself, right? So we have to know when to blow the whistle. Okay. We need to identify when to blow the whistles. Is it directly? Is it oh I want to blow whistle now. No, no. Every day you blow whistle. No. You should consider to blow whistle when there are life at risk, especially related to your projects, your structures, your building. Okay? And you find out a company continues an illegal activity. You have put an internal reports, but the illegal activity still continue, meaning that that is time you have to do the external whistleblowing. And you, as a member of organizations, have clear evidence about the wrongdoing. And never, this is something that you have to remember that never act impulsively, meaning that you act based on your maybe emotional, okay, something that revenge. So make sure motive are clear and well documented because you want to protect people's humans, right? So how to blow whistle? How to blow the whistle? Is it seems like what we call it a referee? Okay, is it the same when you say blow a whistle? How? Okay, the most important thing is do it anonymously, meaning you get hold of the evidence and the evidence you submitted, let the evidence speak for itself, and being anonymous is the best way to 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 avoid from you being attacked later. Okay, other than that, you can do your whistleblowing in a group. Okay, meaning that you have a group like unions. Okay, you do the whistleblowing. You have a collective reporting that when you do a collective reporting, it will lend your credibility towards your reporting. Unless if you do it on your own, they look like you are personal vendetta. Mean you are rebellious in yourself. This is nothing happens. It's just someone problem. You are the problem. No, okay. And lastly, we have to present just the evidence and leave the interpretations of fact to others, because sometimes the evidence will talk. Okay, so make sure you produce a credible evidence and not something evidence that's based on hearsay, based on rumors. No, all right. And as I said, mentioned before, internal channels is the best. You can do your whistleblowing with your immediate supervisor. You can submit your formal reporting, unless they shut you down. Therefore, you have to use the external channel, maybe social media, maybe mass communication, mass media, such as television, radio. Okay, maybe nowadays TikTok videos of TikTok just today. Okay, so how to justify your whistleblowing? Okay, how to justify your whistleblowing? Because when you say whistleblowing, we need to know that whistleblowing is done for the right reasons in an appropriate manner rather than personal interest. Okay, or is based on hearsay, based on rumors. We have to have a hard evidence before we do a whistleblowing. First, we do whistleblowing because of the issue will affect on significant harm to the public, to the users, to the general welfare. And you try to solve this issue through internet reporting. You you has attempt to resolve it, and until there's no response, therefore you have a external channel. If an internal fail, so this issue we have to brought to the higher management. Your superior doesn't listen to you about the issue. Yeah, can brought to the higher management. And during this, you have to document your evidence. So because the concrete evidence will validify your concern. Because sometimes this threat post they can fire you because you are whistleblower. That's why anonymity is more anonymously reported is the most important thing in the first place. And you need to justify it. Okay? You yourself must be reasonable, must be impartial. Okay? And to say that whistleblowing actions, okay, are based on evidence and the seriousness of each issue. So I have presented the criteria, the process, how to blow the whistles, type of whistleblowing. Why? But then, why is it so difficult to do whistleblowing? What's the problem? Okay, so we have an ethical issue related to whistleblowing itself. Okay, such as what happened. We have mum, deaf, and blind effect. Okay, the mum effect is like our mom. Okay, reluctant. Let it be. It's okay. It's normal. That's a mum effect. Reluctant to blow whistle because audit report may go against the judgments of interest of financial stakeholders because it will leading to fear of backlash of yourself, meaning that you might afraid your company being blacklisted. Okay, so you have no jobs. So your mom put this the deaf effect. Reluctant to hear the whistle. Somebody have blow the whistle. Somebody have submitted reports and highlighted the issues. But in the end, we have appreciate your report, but no thanks. You choose not to hear. That's the problem with deaf effect. And the last is the blind effect. Reluctant to see the needs to blow the whistle. Because maybe you are part of the management. You know about the issue, but you fail to uphold your responsibility as a professional engineer. So these informations we need to disembark throughout the management to show the importance of each issue. Okay, so there are some moral dilemma. Okay, like this cartoon management is like the term whistleblower. They preferred I employed. You know, This is something they try to threaten you. So if you be a whistleblower, so you become an unemployed, I will fire you. Okay. So there are questions arise from this moral dilemma. Who you want to tell? Is it your superior? The responsibility of each issue. Okay. The processes have, that related to the whistleblowing itself. Okay, because sometimes your boss asks you look the other way. There's some problem. Okay, okay, don't look, don't focus on that because moral dilemmas, the stress and isolation area. Because you will want to be labeled as retaliates. You doesn't want to be damaging your professionals development, and you keep thinking. Okay, so that's why universities and companies have a support systems, especially for ethical concerns, right? Okay, that normally it affect your discomforts. You can't sleep. You have you got insomnia. You becoming stressed, high blood pressure, so on and so forth. So therefore, in Malaysia, we have Act 711, Whistleblower Protection Act 2010. Okay, under SPRM. So what is Whistleblower Protection 2010 Act 711 SPRM? So this act, in order to promote disclosure of informations about any corruptions or any misconduct. So because normally we are always being we call it prejudicial effect, because when somebody expose something, we will have our own conclusions. Okay, therefore when somebody being identified by SPRM as an informant, meaning it's a whistleblower. So this informant, this whistleblower, will personally attend with SPRM officers in the offices or somewhere that are safety. Okay, okay. So this disclosure of behavior, it can be made either by letter, by email, okay, phone call, SMS. No, nowadays it's not for SMS. Okay, maybe WhatsApp. So and the informant itself must reveal his identity and address. So SPM can contact them to get more information related to the issue. So what type of protection, okay, being offered by SPM? Okay, because to clarify again, whistleblowing is not only for reporting corruptions, okay, corruption meaning bribes, but also abuse of power. It can be criminal breach of trust or misconduct. Okay, so therefore, in Whistleblower Protection Act 2010, we have to like identify ourselves. Okay, and these informations will be protected by SPRM. Okay, so anonymous, if you do anonymous tips, it doesn't get any legal protection under 711. Okay, so type of protection that being offered through this act is confidential of identity informations. You have an immunity from disciplinary or legal consequences, meaning you will not be fired. Okay, if you do being a whistleblower. Okay, and you being protected from retaliations due to demotions, okay, or harassments. So these protections are extended to your family also. One example, if an officer expose the procurement frauds in any ministry, it will be protected and reinstated after investigations finish. Right? So because you as a whistleblower, you will be protected under Section 7, 1B, Whistleblower Protection Act 2010. Whistleblower should not be liable to any civil actions, criminals, or disciplinary consequences of such disclosure. So we will be protected. Okay. 7.1c, a protective prejudicial to the outcome of reaction disclosure. Okay. And protection given to the related informant. Okay. So this is quiz for this chapter. You need to submit your answer to ULENS. So just a 5 simple question to measure your understanding towards this chapter. All right. To wrap up our class today, first thing first, you have to know engineers. Engineers, you as an engineer are guardian. Okay, it's not like guardian of galaxy, but guardians of public safety. Okay, and you yourself as a whistleblower, you are not betray your company, your organization. No, it's an ethical courage, it's an ethical actions that you want to protect others. And if I presented in the final slide, we have SPRM acts that protect your rights through proper processes. And last but not least, so you have to put in your mind that what type of engineer you want to be. Somebody who are willing to put others' needs uphand, not on yourself only, not on your positions only. Okay, all right. Thank you. And the last slide, we have a quiz for this chapter. We have 5 simple questions you need to submit before this midnight. Okay, so after that, the submissions link will be closed. So you find this in the week 7 in Ulen. All right, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi